So let me power this on and show you what it looks like while it's running. Hello and thank you for joining me today. If this is your first time visiting, I certainly appreciate you giving me this opportunity. Please be sure to check out some of my other videos and see if any of them might be able to help you out. For those that are returning, as always, thank you for your continued support. It certainly means the world to me. Today I'm going to be installing the Viofo A129 dash camera into my 2022 Honda Civic. Now I am using the A129, which is a 2K version of this camera, but there is a 4K version available for about $100 more. The installation for both cameras should be the same. Now you can leave the wiring exposed and just use the cigarette lighter style power supply for this, but if you want to be anal retentive like me, you should buy the Hardwire Kit that goes along with this camera so that you can hide everything and make it look much more professionally installed. Now I'm going to assume that you are comfortable removing trim panels on your vehicle like the A-pillar covers and the kick panels in order to make this look right. I cannot go over every single vehicle manufacturer, but the concepts are generally the same. Now my hope is that this is more of a general problem solving video, how I went about hiding these, than it's going to be a step-by-step A, B, C, D, this is how you do it. Now in the description of this video I have linked to the Amazon products that I used if you would like to follow along. I am part of the Amazon affiliate program, so any link that you use I will earn a small commission on it. Now here is the camera kit and the hardwire kit that I purchased separately to hardwire the system underneath the hood of the car. More about that in just a minute. Now I've already opened this, so this is not one of those unboxing videos. The system has two cameras, one for the front and one for the rear. It has the cables to power the system with a cigarette lighter type plug and the cable to run to the rear camera. I will not be using this power cable since I will be using the hardwire kit. Here are some added clips for routing the cables if you need them, and some extra adhesive pads to mount the camera to the window glass should you need them. This is the front facing camera, and how this works is that you have a USB mini connector on the top. This is where you power the entire camera system. Then on the side of the front camera, another USB mini cable connects here, and then that cable runs to the rear facing camera. Both cameras are stuck to the windows with these adhesive pads. Once installed, the cameras themselves are adjustable up and down to get the proper field of view. The slot here on the side is for a micro SD card that is sold separately. When we're deciding where to mount the cameras in the vehicle, we need to make sure that we're leaving room to make these connections and to have access to the SD card. Now there is a phone app that you can connect to the system to view and download video clips, as well as yet another USB mini port to connect the computer directly should you ever need to. I'll wait until everything is installed and running to go over the operation of the system. Here is the hardwire kit for this. This will be wired up under the hood and directly to the battery and fuse box. This will eliminate the cigarette lighter power supply and make everything look much neater and much more professional. If you follow along with my installation, you will also need to purchase a micro fuse tap to add a circuit to the vehicle's fuse box. Here's a picture of one on Amazon that I have a link for in the description. You can purchase these at any auto parts store as well. Just make sure it's for the micro style fuses. Enough talk, let's get this installed. Now, after thinking long and hard about how I was going to get the wiring harness through the firewall of the car into the engine compartment so I could attach things to the battery, this is what I finally decided to go with. I removed the battery. In the back here, there is a rubber grommet that has a part of the wiring harness that goes into the dashboard of the car. What I did was made a cut into the side of that, and then I pushed the wire through, and then I'm going to come back and silicone that so that way it'll be watertight again. And now I've got my wiring harness into the engine compartment where I can hook it up to where it needs to go with the fuse box. I'm gonna show you inside the car where that came out, and then we're gonna get it run up to where the camera is gonna be mounted at. All right, now we're looking at the floorboard and try to show you where that came out. It comes through that rubber grommet right there. Now that I have all this on the floorboard, my goal is gonna be to run it up and then get it up to where the camera is gonna be mounted on the windshield. All right, so what I've done is now I've moved the wire. I put it behind this one for my application, just so I can get it behind here like I like it. And I'm gonna put it behind the weather stripping so you can't see it. And then once it gets up here, it's gonna go behind the cover for the A-pillar and the airbag. And of course your airbag, you don't wanna do anything that may interfere with the operation of that. So I'm gonna stay low, come behind this, and then come up this line that's already in the car, and then underneath the headliner here. And then from the headliner over to this part, and I've already popped this loose. It's just two clips that hold that in. You just pop it out. And then I'll hide the wire under this, and it'll come back out over here, and then it'll hang down here where the camera is gonna be mounted. Since I have so much excess wire, I wanna make sure all that's underneath the dashboard. So I'm gonna start working here to get it all the way down, and then the excess will be under here, and then I can zip tie it up and get it out of the way. Now you see all that's up there nice and neat, and it's all hidden underneath this now. These parts that come on these cables, there's nothing I can do about that, so it's just gonna have to be visible. But when I get the camera up, I'm gonna do the best I can about hiding all that. So the end result, as you can see, looks really good. We got this tucked all behind just nicely, and then have it hidden behind the weather stripping there. And then you can see here where it comes out, and then this little bit of excess is just going to be zip tied up and out of the way. So let me get these kick panels back on and get the A-pillar cover back on, and we're going to show you how I'm going to wire this up in the engine compartment. Okay, now my next step is going to be to figure out how I'm going to wire up my hardwire harness to the battery and the ground and to an accessory terminal somewhere inside of the fuse box. The ground is going to be easy. I'm probably just going to go right here. I've already checked that is grounded. As far as the hot one, this has to have 12 volts at all times. So find some way to either hook it to your battery terminal over here or somewhere inside of the fuse box that's hot all the time. I do know these two terminals on the back of this car are. Now the accessory one's a little bit different. You only want this to have power when the ignition is turned on, because what this does is sends a signal to the camera and tells it, okay, the car is on, now turn on. So the camera doesn't sit there and stay on the whole time. Now, in order to do that, you need to go through your fuse box with the ignition off, and you need to check, like with some type of tool, to see if you have which fuses have power all the time. And what I've already figured out in this car, if I can get down here, I'm not very left-handed, but you can see that one has 12 volts. As do all of these. The only one that does not is this little 10 amp fuse down here. But when I turn this to accessory, see, it has nothing now, but if I were to turn that to accessory, it would get 12 volts. So that is the one that I'm going to tap into. This is the fuse tap that I purchased. I've already got fuses inside of it. How this basically works is you take your old fuse out and you plug this into where it was, and the bottom fuse needs to be the same one that you took out, and the top one needs to be able to handle whatever load that you're going to attach to it over here. Now, since this is just a signal wire, it's not going to have any load on it at all. I just went with the 7.5. It again needs to be at least equal to or less than the fuse that you're taking out. So let me go ahead and pull that fuse out. We're going to replace it with this. As you can see, I've already put a gap in my fuse box. I had to cut a little bit out here because when this goes in, this wire is going to need to stick out so I have access to it. And there we go, that's now installed and ready to go. So I'm going to get started with the ACC connection. I'm just going to put it in the end, and it's already come with a connector to crimp shut. Well, that took a little more doing than it should have, but I've got it now. Just give that a little tug and make sure it's in there snug. All right, here's going to be my final setup. I decided to go ahead and just run the the power, the 12-volt power, just directly to the battery terminal itself. That way I don't have to do anything else funny inside of the fuse box that might cause an issue down the road. Ended up grounding the ground here where the battery comes off and grounds to the chassis of the car. And then finally I had the fuse tap, the adding circuit, whatever you want to call it, installed. And I had to put, like I said, a little gap down here at the bottom so it will clear the top of the fuse box when I put that back on. I'm probably going to also have to make a little notch in the fuse box as well. But this should have 12 volts now to that wire up. Let's go plug the camera in and see if it'll come on. Just went ahead and turned the car all the way on, but yeah, as we see our record light's now on. Let's see if the camera itself powers up. And there we have it. Now when I turn the vehicle off, it should power the camera down. Eventually, maybe. Okay, it is off now. That circuit, it takes it about a minute to power down. But once it does power down, then the camera does turn back off. So that was our goal, is that we wanted the camera that would come on with the accessory and go off when the accessory was turned off. All right, now that I know I've got everything working, I came back and I cleaned up my mess. I got the fuse box back on. You see where this pops out of. I kind of used a little brown file to just take a little bit of that off so it had room to come through. Zip tie things together so nothing's wiggling, nothing's going to be rubbing against anything, and we're going to call this good. Close the hood. I've already decided that the camera's going to go just about here, so that way it's not going to impede you while you're driving the car looking at the windshield. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this so it's ready for the adhesive. And what I've chose to use is parts cleaner for electric motors. It's got doesn't leave any kind of residue on the window, and it should leave us a good place to stick that adhesive on. All right, so I'm ready to go ahead and peel this off. We're going to go ahead and adhere this, make sure everything's straight, get exactly where I'm. All right, so here we go. I did get that one wire that had that little diode or whatever it was. I did manage to get that up underneath the headrest, and it looks just original. I had a problem there. So this is going to be the final setup for this. I've got it in a good spot where it's not going to interfere with the driver looking at the windshield of the car or anything. And the next step is going to plug into this side one that says rear with the other wire. We're going to have to come up here and run it all the way to the back to have the back camera right. All right, again, I've come up underneath the headline, removed this A-frame pillar cover, hitting it behind this until it comes out in this area behind the weather stripping all the way, and I pulled this cover off here. So I'm to this point now. Just got to get this all the way to the back of the car and then up under the headliner and attached to the rear camera. When I come back, I'll show you how I've accomplished that, and we're going to move on to the next part. All right, this is the front seatbelt buckle here. So it went behind this. It's tucked under all of this to around here, and I went ahead and took the rear seat out of the car. It seems like a lot of work, but I wanted this to be right. This is my wire running here. Goes behind the seat. Once it comes out from behind the seat, right there, you see I ran it up this like that and behind this. And then I'm going to show you where that comes out in the trunk. All right, and we see here in the trunk where that came out, and I went back up through that hole right there so I could get into that back corner up top. And how I managed that is I pulled the trim off the top, I fished a wire through, then attached this to it, then pulled it all back up. So looking back into that corner, I pulled this off, fished the wire down there, got it, pulled it up behind this, came all the way up, and once again, I'm where I can tuck it under my headliner. So I'll call that home free now, and everything is good, nice and hidden. I'm just got to put the car back together now. So now that I'm complete with the installation, and show you what this is going to look like around the outside of the car. A little more noticeable, but not too bad. And on the back, since this car has tinted windows, you really can't see. Just barely make out the back one sitting in there. Show you from the inside. So here we go from the inside. Might want to come back and zip tie these two together. I'd rather it not have this big part sticking out. They had put both of the connectors on the top. That'd have made this look a little bit cleaner. and turn around to the back, and you see there, that's all it takes up. You can see that in the rear view mirror. It takes a little getting used to. So let me power this on and show you what it looks like while it's running. It does take it just a little second to power up there, but once it's up and running, there you go. With that backlight, you can't really see the screen. And this screen is really, I would say it's more along the lines of something just if you need it in an emergency or a pinch, you can't really see it that well. And when you're driving the car, it'll actually turn itself off because it could be distracting to somebody driving if you just saw some motion over there. Now, I'm not going to go over the actual operation of this. It's pretty basic. When you turn it on, it's automatically recording. It has this function button here with a little warning triangle. And if something happens, you hit that and it'll actually put that in a protected file so it can't be erased. There's a picture-in-picture where you can see out the front, the back, or the picture-in-picture like that. I don't really see any need for that. And to stop recording, there's just a little record button here that stops it, and then after it's stopped, it has a menu that you can go through to do all the settings on. I did it with the phone app. It made it a little bit easier to see what I was doing. So I put a cloth up there so we wouldn't be staring straight into the sun and get a little better look at the menu screen. And you just navigate through, figure out where you need to be. And again, like I said, when you're ready to power down the car, you turn it off. I've noticed this circuit on this car. I didn't really look up to see what it was, but I did notice sometimes it can take up to a minute to power down. Just then it only took, about 15-20 seconds. So, but I have the operation that I was striving for, on and off with the key, and most importantly, don't have something sticking out of my cigarette lighter all the time. So with all that being said, I'm going to pull the card on this and get some of the footage that I already have on it, and I'm going to show you what that looks like in the 2K version. Now here are a few clips that I did pull off the SD card. The camera records 2 videos at the same time for the front and rear cameras. Now I've added the picture-in-picture just for the sake of the demonstration. Here we are driving on the interstate just before the sun comes up. As you can see, it's picking up the scene in low light just fine with no camera shake. Now a daytime clip on a surface road, and again, clear, no shake whatsoever. And if we stop the video, you can clearly see the tag numbers of the other vehicles should you need that info for anything. All right, that'll do it. Let's go ahead and get this wrapped up. So there you go, guys. I hope you found that video to be informative and at least a little bit entertaining. If so, please be sure to go down and leave me a like. That would be greatly appreciated. And also consider a subscription to the channel. Thank you very much.